Hi friends, welcome back to my channel. So today in this video I'm going to be sharing a project that is being hosted and run, created and everything by another booktube creator here on booktube, but I wanted to share it because I want more people to join, and I also wanted to share a little bit of my TBR, and then I'm also struggling with some of the authors, so I might need some recommendations, but let me get started. So basically, a booktuber here on booktube called Alicia from Alicia Guzman, she's a good friend of mine, she's awesome. She started a project called the Read Latin American Authors 2022 project. She basically made a whole video talking about this, so which will obviously link down below along with her channel, but she basically made a graphic, and it's all of the months of the year, and basically what she wants is for people to read more Latin American authors, and she kind of picked a Latin American country for each month. So for example, in January it's Mexico, February Argentina, March Cuba, etc. So there's a graphic on Instagram that she posted. I'll also post it on here, and I'll also link down below Alicia's Instagram if you want to go follow her and all of that and get the graphic. But yeah, basically it's to read a book by a Latin American author each month, which I'm already doing because of my book club with Cami called Brujas and Books, where we read a book by a Latinx author each month. But yeah, I'm gonna pop up a graphic on the screen where you'll be able to see all of the months and all of the different countries, and she did say that she wants to continue this project in 2023 and like longer, because obviously these are not all of the Latin American countries. So I do have books that I want to read for the first 7 months, but then after that I was really struggling with what books to choose, because I was looking up stuff on Goodreads but not a lot sounded interesting. It's a lot of very like classical type of books that are not my thing, so I kind of needed help with some of the books that I'm going to be reading for those countries. So I'm just gonna get started. For January it's Mexico, and for that I'm going to be reading Gods of Jaden Shadow by Silvia Moreno Garcia. I'm kind of killing two birds with one stone with this book because this is the Brujas and Books book club pick for the month of January, so it's perfect. And also obviously Silvia Moreno Garcia is a Mexican author, so I'm excited to read this one for that. And then after that, don't really ask me what these books are about because I don't know anything, but for February, for Argentina, I am planning on reading Tender is the Flesh. I know nothing. I believe this is a horror. I don't know how much I'll like this. It doesn't really seem like my kind of book, but I'm hoping that I do, because I couldn't really find anything else for that I was like at least interested in for Argentina, so this is what I'll be reading. And then for March is Cuba, and I'm actually reading an author that I've read from before, which is Clayton. I've read The Most Beautiful Girl in Cuba by Clayton, and this time I'm going to be reading Next Year in Havana, which is like a companion type. It's kind of in the same world, following some of the same characters. I don't really know how they're connected, but yeah, I'm hoping to read Next Year in Havana, which I actually really wanted to read anyway, so I'm excited to get to that in March. And then after here, I actually know nothing about these books. So for April it's Uruguay, and I'm planning on reading Cantoras by Carolina de Robertis. I know nothing. I remember reading what it was about and it sounded kind of interesting or something, or maybe I heard Alicia talk about it, but I don't remember anything like about what this book's about, the genre or anything. Probably should have done a little bit more research before starting this video, but I will say that all of these books will obviously be on all of my future TBRs, so I'll give you a bit more like context on what the books are about and like the genre and all of that. For the month of May it'll be Colombia, and for that I had the 100 Years of Solitude by Gabriel Garcia Marquez, which I know it's a classic. Again, I don't know anything, and I'm kind of scared because I have like two kind of like big classics on this list, and I usually don't love like classic literature, so we'll see how much I like these books. But yeah, I don't know anything, and because they're so like well known, I kind of want to go into them knowing nothing about what these books are about. For the month of June is Brazil, and for that I chose a book by Paulo Coelho. Again, this is another author that I've read from before, and from him I read Veronica Decides to Die a long time ago. I kind of liked it. It was okay. And for this one, I'm going to be reading The Alchemist, which again, this is the other classic that I was talking about that's on this list. This is a very well-known book, and I always see this book every time that I go to the bookstore, and I always want to get it, but I don't know anything, and I also know that it's a classic, so I feel like it might not be my kind of thing. But I'm going to be reading it this year, so I guess somehow, some way, I'm just going to be reading a whole bunch of classics this year, so we'll see how I enjoy them. And then for the month of July, it is Chile, and I will be reading a book by Isabel Allende. I think that's how you say her name. And the one that I chose is A Long Petal of the Sea. I know Isabel Allende has like a long list of books, but I've heard that this one's like one of her best. I can't believe that I've never read anything by her, because she's one of the most popular Latinx authors that I've heard of before, so yes. And then for the rest of the list, this is when I struggled, so I don't have any books that I'm planning on reading, but I hope that from this video I get some recommendations, or Alicia, help me out, girl, because I don't know what to read for these. Maybe Alicia, I hope that she does some recommendations for books to read, because I'm struggling here, so please help me. For the month of August is to read a book by Paraguay. I know there's a word for a Paraguayan author, and for September is Bolivian author, October is Peruvian, November is Ecuadorian, and then for December is Venezuelan. So that's basically it. I hope that you all join, and like I said, you can take all of these as recommendations lightly, because I haven't read them, so I don't know if they're good or not, or if I'm even gonna like them. But for the month of January, please pick up Gods of Jade and Shadow to read with us for our book club called Brujas and Books. That's also linked down below always. But yeah, I hope that you all join this. Please go watch Alicia's video. She does a better job at explaining the project and everything. And also please help me out with some of the countries that I don't have any books to read for. Let me know down below if you're joining in this project. I'm hoping that I'll stick to it all year long. Maybe I'll miss a couple months, and I'm sorry in advance, but even if you want to participate, and even if it's for like a month or two, I think that's great. We do need to be reading more books by Latinx authors. The fact that I don't have anything to read for some of these countries is sad, because we should have more well-known authors from those countries and books from those countries. So but yeah, that's it for this video. Like I said, all of these books that are on this like TBR will be on future TBRs where I talk about them a little bit more in depth, maybe in a wrap-up if I decide to do wrap-ups this year. But yeah, that's it. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye.